Welcome bros, 30 here, the True Spartan. Today is Wednesday and it's time for a review my loadout episode. This time a bro suggested the SG553 with a reflex, foregrip and heavy barrel. As a sidearm I was using the MP412 Rex, and as my first gadget, of course the RPG. Not a lot of people actually are using this gun nowadays because everybody prefers to use a high RPM gun, like the MTAR or the ACWR. But in my opinion it's a really good versatile weapon, especially for conquest medium to long range maps, since it's really accurate along with the foregrip and the heavy barrel. You can say it's a reflex sight for a bit more powerful sight scope, but in my opinion this setup is pretty good for medium to long range maps. I chose Tala Market and Aftermath in my opinion, and I don't know why it just feels right to use the SG553 with that setup. I'm a really big fan of the G53 with the same attachments, but after using the SG553, which I actually didn't know and didn't think that it was a decent gun, I was really surprised by its versatility and its accuracy in long range. It's not a really high RPM gun, so if you try to encounter it in close quarter situations, you're obviously gonna get owned by a P90 or an MP7. But when you're trying to go for medium range maps like the Aftermath DLC or some other maps that are usually medium, they don't have like small buildings or you don't enter buildings and it's like urban warfare basically, it's a really good gun. You can go for a G53 or a G36, but they have a lot of recoil compared to the RPM. About the secondary though, as you all know, the Rex is a pretty good gun. I personally like it, but it's actually personal preference. You can use whatever secondary you want. The Rex is a gun which is between the M1911 and the Magnum obviously. I personally like it a lot because it's really fast, it has a lot of recoil but it's really fast and you can actually down one enemy really quickly if you're out of bullets when you're shooting with your primary weapon. I chose to try this loadout in Tala Market, in Aftermath in general, because it has light vehicles, you won't go against tanks except for Marcus Monolith, but basically it's really important to be in a map that has vehicles with the engineer class but doesn't have like it's not a really heavy vehicle like the Caspian border or the Karg Island map. One bad thing about it obviously is the low RPM and the low hipfire accuracy that you have when you got a heavy barrel on, but you can actually be careful and not try to engage in close quarters combat, and this will keep you actually alive if you try to engage in medium range. Hip firing actually can kill an enemy, except if he's like aware of you and starts suppressing you like hell and has a really high or a higher RPM or a strong LMG like the PKP or the M240B or the M60. Other than that, it's a pretty respectable gun. I don't see a lot of people using it and I really don't know why. A lot of people are actually using the ACWR and the G36 and guns like this, the MTAR or the AS Val, which is really good for the engineer class since they don't have a really good suppressed gun for long range with low recoil. The Scarage is a really strong gun for the engineer class but has a gazillion fucking amounts of recoil and it has only 20 bullets in the magazine and it's low, and it also has lower RPM, so the S-Val is a good alternative for that. But the SG553 along with the foregrip and the heavy barrel is a different kind of situation over here. You need to use it in specific situations. As I told you guys, the G53 is one of my favorites. It really reminds me of the M416, which is my favorite gun in Battlefield 3. But some people actually prefer the M16, more like higher RPM guns, which I'm not a big fan of because you actually go through your bullets really fast and when you're bursting they're kind of uncontrollable. But when you're using the SG553 or the G53 or guns like the M416, you can take those really long range kills when you're bursting, and you can actually kill someone with hipfire in medium range. So it's a good overall gun. It could be a little bit better, it could have 750 RPM, but then it would start to be a little bit unbalanced, I think, and you know how DICE is, they wanted all the engineer guns to be carbines and not be more powerful than a assault rifles or LMGs, so they had to put it in that category there, so that you could not overcome the disadvantages of the SG553 being a carbine. So that's about it from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I rate this loadout with a 9 out of 10 for being great in medium to long range and actually being quite respectable in hip fire and close quarter situations. Remember to leave a like and go in the link in the description and like the Facebook page of the channel. Have a nice day, stay bows, I'm out.